Majority Leader Senator Rory Respicio believes the buildup doesn't belong to big businesses or special interest groups, but the people of Guam. Delivering the Speaker's address today, Respicio added he believes issues that directly affect your families should never be discussed in secret, which led to his concern of GUASA, a group of local businessmen who have hired a lobbyist to advocate for the territory to over 500 members in Congress.
I never, ever intended to stop them or anyone else. I never, ever intended to regulate their activities, and I never, ever intended to circumvent or violate the constitutional rights of free speech.
Respicio is referring to concern he had raised about GUASA not only from the lobbying firm, but to whether the group's lack of engagement with the Guam First Commission and elected officials so that Guam speaks with one voice in the nation's capital. This led to the administration releasing a statement rather welcoming GUASA's efforts, but cautioning elected officials to never use their authority to suppress the free speech of Guamanians. In a special address Tuesday, Acting Governor Ray Tenorio believes Senator Respicio was trying to block GUASA's freedom of speech.
If you want to talk to me or anybody wants to talk to a senator, they shouldn't have to worry about going to a commission or a committee or anybody else. Of course, we want to have a united voice, but we can't force people. This is a democracy.
During this afternoon's Chamber of Commerce meeting, President David Letty offered his support to GUASA and believes lawmakers shouldn't prevent or hinder the group's positive efforts.
I think we in the business community and in the government should support these efforts. I'm just, we're focusing on rolling up our sleeves and trying to do positive things for our island. And I think everyone, especially our leaders, should embrace that.
Chairman of the board, Mark Sablon, meanwhile, believes commissions aren't usually as effective as lobbying firms.
It's not two voices. It's just, like I say, one's a thinking group, one's an action group. I think this group, GUASA, is serious, and I think they are not going to stop until their voice is heard in D.C. And it's all for the people of Guam, and it's all for our economy here on the island.
Senator Respicio, who also serves as the vice chair of the Guam First Commission, says the group was created to provide structure so all residents can express concerns on territorial issues. He adds it's unfortunate that the administration took his words out of context and are instead being overly dramatic about his concerns.
Unfortunately, they chose to do exactly what we didn't want to do, and that's politicize the buildup. And they chose to make this an issue for the upcoming election. It's an election year, and they would stop at nothing to make sure that certain senators are not reelected. I think that's what their goal is.
Acting Governor Tenorio, meanwhile, responded to Respicio, saying he isn't being dramatic and that instead Respicio should be concerned about the meeting the so-called Fab Five had with congressional leaders last year that left a bad taste in their mouth about interest in Guam.
So if you want to call it election year attack, then that's up to you or Senator Respicio. This has nothing to do with that. But this is really a matter of not an attack on him or rhetoric or dramatization. This is defense of one of our most fundamental freedoms in our country.